Can you switch on your camera? I mean, is there a is it possible for you to switch on the camera?
Ma'am, let me just see. I have.
Yeah, sometimes I would ask you to switch on your camera because you're still kids. So
Yes.
I have to see. You're working on the problems or you're just fiddling with your phone and all that. So
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I think yes, yeah. Yeah, I could see you. Okay, that's amazing now. Yeah. So yes, I believe even you can see me, right?
Yes, ma'am. I can see.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. So getting started with the first question, this is the question. Read the instructions. So this is the first question that you have in your writing and language test. And if we go slightly down, this is the text, right? And then
Yes.
you have these four options, four choices, right? So you're supposed to answer these based on this. Take your time and work on this. All right?
Yes.
Since this is just the first question on your writing and language test, take your time and do it.
Ma'am, am I supposed to tell the answer or like?
Yes. So, I mean, could you find the answer? Ready?
Yeah, ma'am. First one, I think it's option D.
You think it's option D. Okay. Why do you think it's option D and why not the other options? So what was your approach while working on this question?
Ma'am, so first of all, it's like they're telling about a debate. So
Okay.
protagonist debate, it should be something main topic. So
Okay.
anyways, it cannot be no change and discipline. So I was thinking between significance and subject. And I
Okay.
felt like subject was more appropriate for the sentence.
On what grounds? So when you say subject was more appropriate, on what grounds, in terms of what? So let's see. The National
Okay.
Endowment for the Humanities is an independent federal agency that was created in 1965 to provide grants to humanities projects throughout the United States. So there was a body that was found, or there was an agency that was created or founded to do something, for the humanities projects throughout US. Funding for the agency has been the protagonist of debate for many years. Some critics think, what do you mean by critics?
People who oppose it.
People who are criticizing, who are opposing or disagreeing with a policy or a measure or maybe, whatever initiative they are taking. So some critics think the money that goes to the NEH would be better spent on infrastructure or job creation. What do you mean by this part?
Building the base for finding like creating job opportunities.
Yeah, so what exactly do you understand by this portion, when it says that would be better spent on
So
infrastructure or job creation? Yes.
the people who oppose this are thinking that if the money goes to the NEH, then they would better spend it for the job creation
Mm-hmm.
while not doing the other stuff as per the
Okay. While others object to the nature of some of the projects that receive funding, right? So we can see that, there are two sections of critics, or there are two sections of opponents. There's one section who are telling that the money that goes into NEH projects could have been better utilized for something else, right? And then,
Yes,
there's another set of opponents or another set of critics who are saying, who are doubting or quite skeptical about the projects itself that NEH is doing, right? So there's a lot of criticism that's going on. And if you look at the first box, protagonist of debate, what do you mean by protagonist of debate? A topic for debate, right? Has
oh,
gained a lot of traction and, has been debated and discussed all over. So this is what we get from this part. Now, if we move on to the choices, right, we are leaving no change, later. What about the other choices? Why not significance? So you're trying to find out, you're basically trying to find out an alternative word for this, a better word, a better word for this, right? So why not significance?
Significance, importance.
On what grounds do you eliminate the word significance? There should be a ground, right? So if you are applying process of elimination, there should definitely be certain grounds and context on which you are eliminating significance.
Yeah. I mean, like if we put significance, then there will be no subject to debate upon.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So the way the word significance is used, right, has been the significance of debate doesn't work. The form of the word, the way you're using, that doesn't work, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Discipline. Why not discipline? Why not discipline? We say, right, she's studying in science discipline. Why not discipline?
I mean, why would the agency fund like for
No, doesn't work. Okay. What about subject? Yes, subject works better. So if you put subject, I mean, the way the word has been used in the context, agency has been the subject of debate, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It works better. So the answer basically has to be subject. So what exactly do you understand by the approach that we've just taken to work on this question? See, we are not only focusing on the meaning of the word, but sometimes we are also focusing on the way it is used in the context.
Okay.
Right? The form of the word as well. Because we eliminated significance. Why? Because has been the significance of debate doesn't make sense. Right? Significance of debate? No. Okay. Discipline could have been, but for this particular context, discipline doesn't work.
Okay.
Right? And then we have subject, which is the right answer. What about second one? Move on to the second one. Yeah, I'll just take you. Just a minute. Yeah, this is the second. Yes.
Ma'am, is it possible?
Yeah, just a minute. Yes. So think is the word over here.
Some critics think that money that goes to it should be better spent. Some people. The job creation has. Yes, ma'am. The options.
Okay, the choices. So what are we checking? Think is the word that we are supposed to replace. So what are we working on as per the choices?
Something which would work in place of think as an alternative.
Yes. So what is the aspect of grammar that is tested over here? Tense, right? Tense.
Yes.
Think.
Yes, ma'am.
Thinking. Thought. Would think. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Tense is being tested over here, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Let's go. Yes. So some critics think the money. So what should be the which is the choice that you would be putting?
Would think.
Would think. And why so?
Some critics would think the money that goes to the NEH should be better spent on infrastructure. Some critics would think.
Some critics is my subject and think is my verb. Over here, others is my subject and object too. Object is my verb,
Object.
right?
Yes.
So if you look at the entire sentence is broken into two parts.
Yes, ma'am.
The second part is others object. Object is simple present. So what's wrong
Yes,
with think? Think is also in simple present. So all of it goes in the same way.
Okay. So it will be no change.
Yes. So we cannot say, right, that some critics would think the money that goes to so and so while others object. Then it had to be while others would object.
Others would object. Okay.
Right? Or if we would have put thought, then it would have been some critics thought and while others objected to.
Objected to. Okay.
Got it? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yeah.
always remember that when it comes to an entire sentence, the form should remain same to a certain extent.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
Make a note of this, and then we are moving on to